Greetings. Today we discuss fucking nothing because we have no ideas and no song ready for this week. And so much more on this
Ahoy, boogers, and welcome to this week's episode of Bear Ghost Invents the podcast where we plunge into the who's, its, and what's its galore of the is and workings of Bear Ghost.
It's my job to mumble through all the stuff we're supposed to say.
The difference is I mumbled on purpose, and you always do it on accident.
No.
You mumbled on purpose?
It's a joke because it was the idea that Andrew's going on accident was the joke.
It was funny because
I
people
see,
have talked about it like progressively getting worse and worse. And I listened to the one in the first episode today, and I'm literally just like, on Bear Ghost Invents the podcast. And I was just like, how did this turn into me just screaming this?
On this episode of
That's got to be
It's
the last
coming.
one for sure, yeah.
So today's episode is not an episode where we plunge into the who's, its, and what's its galore of the inner workings of Bear Ghost because we got fucking nothing.
Some would say today's episode's not an episode.
Yeah. My voice is finally getting back up into tip-top shape, but I haven't been into the studio yet, so we don't have a thing for you yet. So we were thinking about canceling this episode, but then we were like, well, why don't we make sure people hate us first?
Yeah.
And we decided to just put out an episode where we are trying to pull our thumbs out of our butts.
So anyway, politics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about them politics?
Yeah, they beat out the Washington non-politics today in the playoffs.
Washington, of all the places.
Washington State.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
okay,
Seattle.
okay.
Yeah, come on, dude. Do you not follow sports?
No.
Sport ball.
I
They're
definitely
they're the only two teams in the league, the politics and the non-politics.
Of all of us
Yeah,
here, I
this is-
definitely don't follow
This is
sports.
very much like a Washington Generals versus the Harlem Globetrotters situation. Off mic, we were talking about the difference between Andor and The Last of Us and wondering if Andor is so good that it's making every other show seem bad.
On that point, I don't have Disney Plus anymore because I like to mooch, and they don't let me mooch anymore.
So
So
Disney,
Yeah.
let me mooch.
Yeah, I don't want to pay Disney, gross. But I haven't been watching Andor because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still like, is The Last of Us good?
I don't like Dina.
I like Dina.
Huh?
She has the exact opposite reaction to things that Ellie does. Because Ellie's reaction to everything is just like negativity and hatred and violence. And her reaction to everything is just like happiness and cool things.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like you can do that in a way that feels like good acting and not. So Dina is like a How I Met Your Mother character in this HBO drama. That's the way she's portrayed, and it drives me insane.
That's coming from somebody who likes that show.
Like is
Not strong enough word.
not strong enough for it. I love the only show I love more than How I Met Your Mother is The Big Bang Theory.
Oh my God.
The best written comedy.
I'm
on
quitting the
TV.
band. Turn that off right now. Podcast over.
Hey, I'm a nerd. Every joke.
Being the resident Last of Us stan, the thing is that there's things I think they're doing in the show, and I'm just speculating on this because I hadn't even thought about it. I've just been watching it and just kind of going on the ride, and I know the story inside and out, so it's like nothing's a surprise to me.
Mm-hmm.
But after you guys started talking about it, I'm just like, I wonder if they're just taking things along the story of the game too much. Like, I know they deviate from it a little bit, but I'm just like, I'm almost thinking the structure that they're putting the episodes out, especially knowing this season's only 7 episodes,
What?
is, yeah.
Oh,
And then I'm just like,
aren't they like 5 in?
Yeah.
What the How
episode.
Can they wrap it up in 2
They're
episodes?
No,
not.
they're not going to. They're trying to split this game up into a couple seasons, which
okay.
it honestly,
Yeah.
it could be.
well,
Are you watching this show, Buttons?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, chime in.
the first Last of Us game is like a 15 to 20 hour game maybe, and Last of Us Part 2 is like a 35 hour game, maybe 25 if you rush it.
Or if you play like a dumbass like me, it's like a 96-hour game.
Well, it might be quicker too if you're not like me and you have to stealth everything.
Well, Tigbot hasn't played the game because he's famously a robot, and because he doesn't have a PS5 or 4 or 3.
I did have a 2. Yeah.
We all did. Other than the Switch, wasn't that like the most selling console of all time? You should be able to look that up, Tigbot.
Yeah.
The PS2, the
Bloopy
Switch, and the
bloop,
Wii, I
yep.
think, are like the toppy tops. And the Sega Dreamcast, of course.
Yeah, everybody,
sure.
everybody had a Sega Dreamcast. I actually did have a
The
Sega
Game
Dreamcast.
Gear. Remember the Game Gear?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I
Yeah.
do remember it.
TurboGrafx 16.
Since it was like the first one with color, so it drained batteries in like 10 minutes.
Yep.
I just never knew anybody that had one. None of us
Oh,
were rich.
All of
enough
my
to
friends
have
had
it.
one.
Oh yeah, a lot of
I
friends.
knew one person that had one, and yeah, I would play a game, and it's like, oh, I couldn't beat the level before the batteries were dead.
Anyway, so yeah, it's all about The Last of Us. I really like how the score from the show is just the score from the game. It's the same dude, right?
Was it like 4-3?
Yeah. That was the Washington non-politics.
Yeah, they were close, but didn't quite pull through at the end.
What do you guys think is your favorite video game score?
Recently, I would say the first Hades that I really listened to.
One of the most influential songs I've ever heard coming from a game is the Halo theme song. It's so freaking good.
It goes, alrighty then.
Yeah, so you've heard it.
Exactly.
But every time I hear it, it still gives me chills.
Sorry, I'm thinking about the Ace Ventura one, just giving you chills every time.
Yes.
It's the same song.
Yeah. They use it in both, so what? But as far as a whole game, because there's plenty of good songs in it, but a whole game.
I have the vinyl of the first Last of Us soundtrack, but I don't know if it's my favorite soundtrack. It's just that I connected so emotionally to that game that all of those songs invoke something in me.
Speaking of the Last of Us soundtrack, I think it's a little harder with modern soundtracks for AAA games because they're done more like a movie score. So you'll have like a couple standout moments, but you don't link on to every single song unless you've played the game like 100 times. It's not like on old consoles and stuff where you'd have a field theme that would just repeat on for like a minute and a half.
You saying that the scores are more approached like a movie score. I'm trying to think of a lot of the AAA games that I've played more recently, and there's just amazing songs in all of them. Ghost of Tsushima has a fucking phenomenal score, and the PS4, PS5 Spider-Man games have an amazing score. In terms of a song, the title theme that's on like the main menu for Batman Arkham City, I think is one of my favorite
Is that the
musical.
one that goes like, Spider-Man?
That's the one.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, one of my favorite musical pieces of all time.
Speaking of which, do you remember that bootleg Batman Begins DVD?
Yeah. I'm going to look it up right now so we can have it on the podcast.
Dude found this bootleg Batman Begins DVD, and the synopsis on the back was just the best thing ever because it was like translated.
Hold on. I found it.
Okay.
Batman Begins. When being a child, Bruce Wayne had witnessed with his own eyes the fact his parents of Millionaire were killed cruelly, so affected his strong desire of revenging his parents. However, God had never given him a chance to fulfill his will. Following the advice of Ra's al Ghul, the chief of Ninja Group, Bruce came to Getty, which was a corrupted city filled with various crime groups. Bruce found a basement under his villa in which the equipment turned him into another person, Spider-Man. With this mask, Spider-Man stroke all criminal activities and criminals everywhere, such as Tugon, the chief of Mafia, Dr. Jackstraw, the abnormal drug trafficker, even a mysterious opponents quite familiar with him. ...
Spider-Man strokes them all.
I feel like it's just bad translation.
Yeah.
Because there's that infamous Revenge of the Sith bootleg. It leaked in English, but it was the one that was released somewhere in like Southeast Asia, and it had subtitles, but then those subtitles were then translated from those subtitles back into English by someone who didn't speak English. And that's the one where like the dialogue between like Dooku and Anakin when they're lightsaber fighting is he's just like, I has been hating you. And then when he screams no at the end, it says do not want in the captions.
Buttons, Hades' score. Is it like field themes that repeat or does it have like an actual sweeping score?
Every level does have... Actually, no, wait.
No,
it does.
It has
'Cause
motifs that come up throughout the whole game, but I don't think I ever listened to it outside of the game.
I love the ending credits song. It's so good.
Sing it.
I can't do it.
Beautiful. Oh my
gosh.
I don't remember that
It's
song.
in the blood.
Oh, it has actual lyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's in the blood. It's in the blood.
That's how it goes.
That's literally the chorus.
That's the only lyrics.
Speaking of lyrics in video game theme songs, Smash Brothers Ultimate, what the fuck were they thinking?
I don't know.
God.
Man.
Why did they do that? Why did they put lyrics in that intro track? You had 4 great games where they didn't do that, and there was all this majesty, and then I don't know.
I feel like we're going to alienate.
Wait, Smash Brothers Ultimate had... Oh, I was thinking of Mario Party. I'm sorry.
Between
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
fire and flame, or something like that. It's something dumb. I think we're going to alienate a few fans with me saying this because we have some super fans of anime out there. But one of the things I never understood about Japanese to English media is doing things like that and having these really cheesy, like sometimes it's super endearing. The Dragon Ball Super theme song, I fucking
Oh
love.
my gosh,
but it's
I
the
love it.
cheesiest song.
I
like-
love the actual translations though. Like it's so over the top positive. They're just like, chase your dreams and punch a dragon. The dragon becomes your friend. It's so fun.
But the one that always bothers me is Attack on Titan because the first season theme of Attack on Titan I think is so good.
Oh, yeah.
And then
yeah.
every season after that, it's just some like this nice
Yeah,
little
it's like chase your dreams and punch the dragon. The dragon becomes your friend.
And I just don't understand. I'm like, the theme song was so good. Why did you make it crappy?
Speaking of Smash Brothers and having a shitty theme song, the song itself is good. The vocals are, that'd be probably a pretty cheap pick to be like my favorite soundtrack to any game because it's just like every great video game composer of all time.
It's been a while now, but every time a new Smash Brothers game comes out, Ryan and I have like sat down and gone through every single track in that game. It's just a thing that we do, and I love it.
I love all the remixes. I love their new takes on songs and stuff like that. And you just have all like the best composers. You got Koji Kondo, and now you have Nobuo Uematsu because they have like the Final Fantasy characters, Yoko Shimomura because they have Kingdom Hearts characters in there.
Well, she did stuff for it before they had Kingdom Hearts characters.
Well, yeah, because she did like Mario and Luigi and David Weiss or
Yeah.
Wise.
I just thought of what would probably be my favorite full soundtrack, but it's super niche. It's a game called Spiritfarer.
Oh my God, the music in that game is so good.
I've downloaded the full album. I listen to it often.
It's more vibey than it is like engaging songs.
Yeah. And without the game, there would still probably be a few tracks I'd like listen to and be like, this is good. But with the game, with the context of the game, it's all good. Because like every song is basically tied to a person you interact with. you
Yeah.
know?
Mine's probably Nintendo DS's Over the Hedge Hammy Goes Nuts.
Did you just try to look up a really obscure Nintendo game on your phone?
Nope, that's my favorite soundtrack. I had that one loaded in the chamber.
Almost all of my ringtones and like alarms on my phone are all from Final Fantasy VI.
Mhm.
I think
Oh,
that soundtrack.
yeah.
I think that soundtrack is immaculate.
It has so many of the best songs, but
Yeah.
again, that's Nobuo Uematsu.
Even in comparison to other Final Fantasy games, though, I just think there's so much on that soundtrack that's just it's perfect. I love that soundtrack so much, but it's hard for me to say it's my favorite for some reason. Maybe because I haven't played that game as much as I would have liked to.
It's kind of weird to go back to games that are 16-bit and like actually listen to the songs to jam out.
I mean, the original Pokemon, I could still jam out to that.
That's a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Ash.
Professor Oak.
Something Masuda. Junichi Masuda. Something like that.
Oh, you have it exactly right.
Do I?
Junichi Masuda.
Well, that's what I get for looking at all the composers in Super Smash Brothers all the time. Kazumi Totaka, I think is his name. He's the guy who did like the Animal Crossing and KK Slider, and he did Yoshi's Story, I believe. And he did the Weed Shop theme.
The famous one?
Mm-hmm. But he's actually all the way from Yoshi's Story. He's the voice of Yoshi in
Oh, wow.
every game since
What?
then. Yeah, so I guess Smash Brothers Ultimate is like a close second to Over the Hedge Hammy Goes Nuts for me. What?
Nothing.
What's your favorite song from that one?
Oh, Collecting Those Nuts.
Classic.
From the composer Boinky Dan.
There's a few songs that I listen to from these albums, but I don't think they're my favorite soundtracks because I can't just sit down and listen to the soundtrack. But in the context of the game, the soundtrack from the remake of Doom in 2016,
The Mick Gordon soundtrack.
the Mick Gordon soundtrack, and to a lesser extent, Doom Eternal. I still think there's some great stuff on that. But man, the whole thing about that game is they really make you run and gun. So they'll
Right.
put you in a big empty room with no cover, and all you can do is run. There's no walk option in that game, and everything is just spawning in every direction all around you. And the room will not let you out of it until you kill everything. And you'll just walk in this room and it's playing this ambient like thing, and then like all of a sudden all the doors will close and it's just like this genty, like brutal fucking guitar.
When I first heard that, I was like, is this the heaviest music ever made?
Right.
It turns out it's true. Are you going to play Dark Ages?
I want to. I'm not like gunning for
Or
it.
you're still playing Baldur's Gate and Marvel Rivals, right?
Yeah. It's hard for
Yeah,
me to play anything else.
We'll never stop. Though. I mean,
The last soundtrack that I went out of my way to download for a video game was Paper Mario, the Origami King. All these quirky, squelchy sound effects with just like heavy, cool riffs and
I remember
fun pop drums. And
when we lived together, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and you
Mhm.
like ran to my room and you're like, you have to come listen to this boss fight theme right now.
yeah, every boss fight theme in that game is awesome. And there's so many great battlefield themes and stuff like that. And it was not what I expected from a Paper Mario game. Who's the guy who does all the Zelda stuff now? I know it originally was Koji Kondo, but So I'm going back to Smash Ultimate and just thinking that's the best soundtrack.
Sure.
Smash Ultimate
It's like
kind of.
John Williams' greatest hits. Like,
Yeah, do you
that's
want to
the-
do favorite movie scores?
That's all John Williams and Michael Giacchino, baby.
It probably has to be, right?
No.
Hans Zimmer, maybe?
Hans Zimmer?
No.
Yeah.
I
Who's
have
your
a,
favorite?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
that's a great
who-
score.
Howard Shore.
Howard Shore.
Yeah.
Literally,
yeah.
it's the best soundtrack ever made.
And
in my
every-
opinion.
So good.
Like,
every single song just fits whatever they're
yeah,
doing
it
so well.
it invokes emotion out of me still more than 20 years after it was made. I'm still like, oh, I can still picture the scene perfectly, and like, it's
Higbot
crazy.
is crying.
I'm trying.
He's leaking.
Yeah.
Buttons, what does that mean?
Probably overheating, or maybe these new piping on his water cooling system.
I could use a good piping.
Jeez.
You heard it here first. Wow, that's a good one. Okay, so other than that, then it would probably have to be Hans
Yeah.
Zimmer. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a really niche answer for this, and I don't necessarily think it's like a good, amazing, epic score, but maybe it's just nostalgic for me. But the soundtrack for Predator
yeah.
is I fucking I love that movie, and I feel like it's lost on people how
That is a satire?
that is a satire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very dry satire. There's not like a joke.
Oh, it's not a
in there.
comic satire.
No, not at all. But the director has said, he's just like, I wanted to take this action trope in the 80s, which is when that movie was made, and take all these big, muscly guys with a bunch of guns and be like, y'all ain't shit. And that's what that movie is.
Mhm.
I love the score in that movie. The pacing in that movie's fucking great. Like, it's just better than people give it credit for.
I agree with what you're saying, but you're still gonna say that's like
Predator
your,
score?
your favorite
No.
over like Jurassic Park.
No, I don't think that this is my favorite.
Oh,
It's
okay,
just that it's like,
okay.
it's a niche pick that I just think is a great score.
I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the score for the movie Over the Hedge is really good.
I haven't seen that score.
Is it different from the one in the game?
Yeah, it's way different.
Okay. Next weekend, the Empire Strikes Back thing?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
symphony.
We're going to
Oh,
the Phoenix Symphony, and they're playing the Empire Strikes Back score.
Oh, dope. Those are fun.
Oof, but boof.
This has been Varigos Invents, the podcast. Since we already mentioned it, dude, and you already mentioned Michael Giacchino and John Williams, what's your favorite John Williams score? Star Wars?
I think the ones I've listened to the most are
Or
Star
Jurassic
Wars.
Park, probably.
Well, I love Jurassic Park because it's my favorite movie, but there's low points, and I don't find low points in Star Wars scores really. Like even in the prequels, even when the
well,
movies
the
are
prequels
bad,
have some of the best shit
yeah,
ever, dude.
exactly.
Duel
I
of the
was
Fates.
Duel of the Fates is
Yeah.
like maybe the best score ever
Yeah,
written.
it's
like,
so good.
yeah.
What's your favorite
ends.
Michael Giacchino score?
oh, that's hard. I think I have to even look. You know what? I think it's Incredibles.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
What about
I like the Ratatouille score more.
Lost?
I mean, Lost is really good
it is. Bum,
for
bum,
Lost.
ba-da-bum,
Bum,
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 ba-da-bum,
ba-da-bum,
ba-da-bum.
ba-da-bum. Remember the first time
Ba-da-bum.
when we were watching Lost and we heard that and we're like, all of us at the same time, we're like, what
What
the
the-
f- is
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
What is happening?
What?
Well, I
And then-
think
yeah, it's like now I still remember it, and I haven't watched that show
Yeah.
in 2
The-
decades.
the thing is,
Like,
I don't think that we noticed it at the beginning of the show
We
because
didn't. It was
it
like
was
the third
like-
or fourth season
Yeah.
when we were all
Well, it
going.
was
it
like
was
a-
at the beginning.
It's on the
It's-
first 2 seasons,
No
like f***ing crazy.
way.
But I think we noticed it in like an episode at like the end of season 3 or season 4 or something like that, and we were like, "What the f- is this song?" And then we went back and watched it. And we were like, "This is in every episode."
it's Michael
No
Giacchino's
way.
worst song.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell him that to his face at a dinner. It feels almost pointless and stupid to even talk about John Williams because he
He's just-
holds the most Oscars or something out
He's
of
the
like
master of masters,
I
yeah.
mean, I love everything he did for Harry
Ever.
Potter. That's like probably one of my favorites.
Wow.
He just worked on the first one though, right? That's
He did the first 3.
He did the first 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
What's your favorite score, Buttons?
Jaws.
That's your favorite score?
That's John Williams.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is
it's
John Williams.
Yeah.
It's a good
Mine-
score.
Mine's probably like
It's just so memorable. and
40
you-
Love.
My favorite
I don't
score is
know.
from the movie Dunstan Checks In.
Jungle Book.
You know,
That was just in every 90s movie that had a monkey in it,
Yeah.
which there was too many of.
Yeah.
I'm probably remembering this wrong because I'm not looking it up. I think this was Hans Zimmer, the movie True Romance. There's like a song in it that sticks out so much because it doesn't sound like it should belong. I'm obsessed with it now. I want to say when they're like first falling in love, but it's
Oh, in the
like
beginning.
it's like steel drums or something
Yeah.
like dung ticka dung dung.
Yeah,
ticka,
that's Hans
dung,
Zimmer.
dung, dung. It like brought me out of the movie almost at first because I was like, what is this doing in here? Like it sounds like it
It's
doesn't
so
belong.
good,
And now I'm
yeah.
like, this is the best song ever. Like
On the note of Hans Zimmer,
To Die For from The Lion King.
yes, To Die For. It's the Stampede scene.
It is.
Is one of the best
Oh,
pieces of
man.
music
He
I've ever
wrote-
heard
Yeah.
in my life.
he wrote The Lion King.
That is genuinely one of the best scores
Yeah,
of all
if-
time.
If you cut out all of the Disney songs with the lyrics and stuff, which were all Elton John pieces.
Yeah,
the actual
what a piece of
score.
shit that guy is.
The actual score in The Lion King is one of the best film scores I think ever made.
It's so good. Wow.
I don't know if you guys remember me talking about the Lord of the Rings earlier, so I think you're wrong. But
I didn't say it was the best. I said I think it's
one of
it's
the
one of the
top,
best
top 100.
For
Top
me. It
five.
might be like one of the top 20 scores.
That's top 100.
No, I'm narrowing it down even further. I think that just has one of the best scores ever. I would put a couple Disney movies up there with top scores for me.
Whoa.
Because I just really like the score for Beauty and the Beast, and I really like the score for whatever the other movie we just said was. This has been Bear Ghost Invents the podcast. I'm sorry about that last week. I have no idea what that was.
Yeah, there's a weird guitar thing right before the ending that just comes in for no reason. And Ryan even went back into the audio file that we submitted, and it's not there.
I cannot find where that came from. I had to tell Andrew that because right before we recorded this, he came at me super hard, being like, all of your edits from last week sucked, dude.
Yeah, I was trying to drown him in the toilet,
Yeah, he was.
but he got his head up just enough to tell me it was an accident.
I said, and Andrew knew what I was saying because we've been friends for so long.
All the times you guys have been drowning each other in
Tim Burton.
toilets.
Not Tim Burton. You did that.
Yeah, that was
Danny Elfman.
We already did that on this podcast.
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman.
A lot of good Danny Elfman scores. Who cares? I don't.
You
we
guys
don't-
are so goddamn the same.
You know,
How do we go?
You
Whole
ask one for
podcast without
if they
talking
want
to
ice cream, they both say yes.
Danny Elfman does have some good scores. I still think that
Hot take.
Name one.
I still think that his 1989 Batman theme is
That's a
awesome.
great song.
Great.
Great song.
Well, especially because I feel like back then there wasn't like a stereotype in the superhero genre.
Yes.
So there was like the Superman movie, which had the ba-ba-da-ba, and then
That's John Williams,
yeah,
Is
and
it?
Then, it is.
Yeah.
And then Danny Elfman did the Batman one,
which goes bum ba 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 ba.
but it's just like it's like a darker thing. But they both have this like bump ba bump 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 bump, and that's become like a superhero staple even all these years later.
Yeah, I remember watching the new the Dragon Ball Super theme, and it was like bum ba bum ba bum bum ba bum ba bum. You punch a dragon. I don't remember. Here comes your best friend. Cut that out of the podcast.
No, I won't.
We talked about this in that episode where we talked about Danny Elfman briefly, but it's like he's just kind of become like a chameleon where his sound is no longer like recognizable.
Yeah,
Bulgy
know?
eyes, long tongue.
Yep. Nowadays, when I see his name in a movie, I'm like, I would have had no idea. But back in the day, everything just sounded like
Yeah.
a Danny Elfman score.
I missed that.
Everything he did, I mean. Who's your favorite director? Are you going to say Wes Anderson?
Yes.
Michael Giacchino.
Michael Giacchino's your favorite director?
Oh, wow.
The way he directs a symphony.
Werewolf by Night, baby.
What?
Michael Giacchino directed that.
Did he really?
Yeah.
No f***ing way.
Mhm.
I forgot about this.
That's cool.
That was actually a cool
That was a great
little Marvel thing.
I really like it.
This has been Bear Ghost Invents the podcast. What's your guys' favorite comedy show?
show. Whoa.
What's your favorite show?
Do you mean like ever or currently?
I mean, ever.
Honestly, I think it's Station 11.
That's a good show.
When I watched it again, it reinforced it, and now I'm like obsessed with it. I think it's like perfect media.
I don't remember enough about it, and I need to watch it again, and I'll never get the chance to. I don't have the time to rewatch anything anymore. Maybe on tour, baby.
This is a dumb answer, but I think it's still one of the best shows ever made. But I own all of Breaking Bad because I want to just have that available to me forever.
Yeah,
But that's
for sure.
It's just an easy answer.
Yeah, there's a reason it's an easy
Yeah.
answer. It's that good.
In terms of comedies, I don't necessarily think it's the best comedy of all time, but I can watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine on repeat for the rest of my life.
Now that you just said best comedy of all time, I think I'm going to have to give it to Arrested Development.
I agree with that.
First 3 seasons of that, especially.
I
I'm
feel
just
like
saying.
you don't give enough credit to the
I'm
fourth
saying,
season. you know?
especially is all.
Yeah,
like-
like yes, okay.
'Cause, I mean, they're no Big Bang Theory, but they're
That's true. They
pretty
are not.
funny. Gotta say.
Guess what? We're nerds.
I feel like it's been a while since you guys have watched the fourth, but there's so many jokes, especially when I bring them up, that you guys laugh with, and I'm like, that's the fourth season. I don't know if you remember that.
I mean, I've been going around saying my favorite comedy is Community for the last several years, and it's really the first 3 seasons of that show that are
I totally agree with that.
yeah. Like, but they're enough. I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually really like seasons 5 and 6. I know that they were too sentimental for you, Tigbot, because it becomes too much about like, oh man, one day we're all gonna have to leave the school.
Yeah, every
Um,
episode.
Take a look at Banner, Michael. Family love Michael.
Oh, man.
Oh, mama. Oh.
All the way back to Nature Calls. This has been Bear Goes Vincent Podcast.
What do you want to talk about, Buttons? What's your favorite TV show?
Probably Breaking Bad.
I had talked about how good that was to a younger, more hip person, and they rolled their eyes at me.
Because they were younger and more hip?
I think there's a common loathing towards a Breaking Bad viewer because most of them tend to be like macho males, people that are just like, oh yeah, Breaking Bad, Walter White, he's my hero. And it's like, oh, you took the
what?
wrong thing away
No.
from that show.
Yeah,
He's the worst.
Yeah, he's truly so awful.
really?
It's the same people that like watch American Psycho and love Patrick Bateman.
Oh, gotcha. I can see that
like, completely
correlation, I
missing
guess.
the point.
Yeah.
Kind of on that same train, why I think It's Always Sunny is so successful is because every character sucks so hard
Yeah.
that it's like you're not supposed to like them.
It's
Like
yeah.
that's why they can get away with so much stuff.
That show is genius.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't actually even seen the last like 3 seasons.
It is crazy how consistent they keep that show. Rewatching it, I thought it was going to be like the first few seasons being like, oh, that's where all the memorable stuff is. It was like literally 11 seasons,
Yeah.
and I was still like, I remember every
Yeah,
episode. Oh my god,
it's a really
like,
funny show. Right now, my favorite show is literally Andor. Not to bring it back, but
Yeah,
I just
I mean, man,
I
I really
love
gotta-
it.
I
love
understand.
it so much.
I
Really
mean,
gotta watch all
not
that.
as much as you, but based on the first season, I understand.
Here's what I want to say. I don't want to like hype things up, and I don't want to spoil anything. But the first 6 episodes I thought were really good. It's just not as good as the first season. Not in a bad way. I was just like, it's different. I don't like it as much. I still think it's really, really great. This newest arc is just so f***ing good. This has been Bear Goes Vincent Podcast. What's your favorite movie?
Like movie that's shitty and not supposed to be.
And you like it even though you know it's not.
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way. Probably me too.
That movie sucks, and I love it.
I love it so much, and it's so bad. Okay, guys, we're wrapping this up. I'm sorry that this episode sucks so bad.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging.
Or is the best.
You think there's no possible way?
There's no
Honestly,
way.
if y'all like this, maybe we'll actually continue having a podcast after this.
Yeah,
because-
yeah, maybe.
No promises.
So here's the bad part. Even if I go into the studio on Monday and get the next cover recorded and edited on Monday and Tuesday, it will not be ready to go up on Spotify until the following Friday. So we still have to have another episode like this next week.
Oh boy. So
Yeah.
Monday's the earliest you could go.
It's the earliest I could go. Yeah.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Insert ad here.
And that's when I found out that my dog was
Oh.
killing my other animals.
Looks like nobody wanted to be a part of this one.
Yeah, it's hard to find a sponsor when you don't have a premise.
One might say we didn't have a premise before this.
What?
Well, yeah, we had those fish and chip guys. They were pretty desperate.
This has been Bear Ghost Invents, the podcast.
I want to read something from our Ask the Band channel on Discord because
Oh, yeah, maybe we should do those.
well, Buttons
Did we?
responded to it and it made me laugh.
Wait, what?
Someone who goes by the name Pesto asked, "What are your top 5 cool bugs?" And Buttons said, "Bugs Life, Bugs Bunny, Ladybugs, Computer Bugs, Bugatti."
Those are those are really good answers.
I know.
Way to
Wow.
go, Buttons.
I really liked it.
Was that like at 6 in the morning or something? I was like half
Probably.
asleep. Yeah.
Well,
Bug-
damn,
Bugatti.
you're a comic genius when you're half asleep.
Speaking of half asleep, there was one time I was staying at Andrew's house when we were kids. If anybody knows what a palindrome is, there's a very famous palindrome that's a man, a plan, a canal, Panama. And Andrew was trying to say it, and he's like, a man, Japan, a canal, Canada. This has been Bear Goes Invents, the podcast.
Stop queuing us out. I'll take her if tea says, when eating on the road, do you opt for local joints or fast food?
Both.
Both.
Well, that's a good answer. We got what we wanted.
I would say that when we're driving in between places, we almost exclusively stop at Love's. So whatever they have there, it'll be like Chester's Chicken or Buc-ee's. And then when we are in town at the venue after load-in and stuff like that, we usually eat locally.
We try to find something that's some obscure place nearby.
Or whatever the staff recommends.
One of the things I hate about eating fast food on the road so much is because
One
know,
of,
shut
one
up.
of the things
Shut
I
up.
hate about
I have
eating
so
fast
many-
food.
so many things I hate about eating on
he
the road.
said, one of the things I hate about eating fast food on the road is because.
Oh,
and I was going to cut it so I sound smart.
To what?
I was going to cut out the is because. One of the things I hate about fast food on the road is when We eat so
is
much of it.
because
Do not want.
We start eating so much fast food on the road. I like get to a point where I'm just like, ooh, I want McDonald's. And I never feel that way at home. I never want McDonald's. I never want Taco Bell. I never want any of
you
the,
never want Taco Bell.
no,
Wow,
I never want
Good
the
for
fast
you.
food staples. But when we're on
that's
the road,
the one that gets me.
Yeah, but you're a vegan and they have vegan stuff.
They have beans. It's just like how many bowls
do
of
they,
beans
do
do
they
I want
count as
tonight?
beans?
Yeah, they.
didn't when JG used to work there, didn't she say like they just like pour water into them and stir
Yeah,
them
it's-
up and that's what the beans are?
Well, it's the refried beans. They would keep adding water to it so it wouldn't get dry.
Yum. This has been Bear Ghost Invents, the podcast. Thank you for listening through that. We're sorry to do that to you.
I'm not. I do it again. In fact, I will next week.
Yeah, next week we're probably going to do something similar, but I hope you guys enjoyed this.
Who wants to play D&D?
If not, we'll see you in 2 weeks. But yeah, I had an idea for this episode that was very intimidating, to do a D&D one-shot, like a really short one that we can do in one episode. But Ryan and Buttons have never played D&D before, and I've never DM'd before. So it's going to be a mess. But if you guys want to see that, let us know. Maybe I'll throw it together.
I just think there are like 1,000 podcasts that are doing that, all of which with like funny people who know how to play, and just
Like Critical Role.
Yeah, it feels like a weird thing for us to do.
So there's actually a thing in the D&D community called the Mercer effect, which is about Critical Role, because they're all so good at it, and he's such a good DM that he just makes everybody else's D&D campaign seem It's just kind of become a thing that you're just like, you're not supposed to compare yourself to that. But maybe people don't want to see that. So if you don't want to see that, please be vocal about it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Next week, we will be back with more of this bullshit. And then the week after that, we'll be back with our last Kickstarter cover. I won't tell you what it is, but somebody on the Discord has already been telling everybody what it is. So love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
This has been
Later.
Bear Ghost Events, the podcast.
It's been very on program.
Bye-bye.
I'll make you go. Bye. Bye. Anybody see Mufasa?
Everybody, thanks for listening. Special thanks to our Kickstarter backers. Next week, we have another nothing episode because we still have to wait on studio time. So tune in for more shenaniganery. Thanks for listening.